If you've ever wondered, why don't people like me? You're not alone. We've all encountered the kind of person who is instantly likable. They're like a best-selling book everyone seems to enjoy and they don't even have to try. When you meet someone like this, you instantly feel at ease in their presence. The ability to connect with new people can be invaluable for your social life and career. Whether you want to get your next promotion or make good friends in a new city, learning this skill can help. Building these connections doesn't come naturally to everyone. Even so, we can all become more likable people. With some guidance, you can start implementing habits to help you make stronger connections with those around you. Why is human connection so important? We connect with people every day. At work, we collaborate with our coworkers to get the job done. On the weekends, we spend time with our friends. Even a friendly stranger during a long commute can transform an entire day. Wherever you go, you'll likely try to find common ground with people. Human connection makes us feel more at ease, knowing that like-minded people surround us. It can foster community and help people feel less alone and alienated. There are many ways to feel a human connection, from midday coffee runs to Zoom calls with old friends. Even social media connects us with others. Staying in touch with your friends who live elsewhere is a great way to connect and boost your mood. As humans, we're naturally social beings. It should be no surprise that wondering why people don't like you may cause distress. According to the American Psychology Association, social connection is a basic human need. Without a doubt, it's crucial for our well-being and survival. Connecting with others well is a talent that can take you far. Whether networking in your industry or giving a big presentation at work, it's worth improving your social skills. 10 tips to make people like you. You can't magically make everyone like you the second you walk into a room. You don't need to either. Think about your goals. To create a new friend, have a meaningful conversation and experience a satisfying human connection. Unless you're trying to win votes, most people don't need to make everyone like them. However, you can implement new habits to help you build connections and make others comfortable around you. 1. Use positive body language and make eye contact. Be a good listener. Ask questions about someone's passions and interests. Share stories about yourself. Have a sense of humor and show people that you like to have fun. Give and receive constructive feedback. Be generous, but don't let people take advantage of you. Remember people's names and how to pronounce them. Have proper hygiene. Acknowledge other people's accomplishments and value. But should you try to make everyone like you? Before you implement these tips, we need to talk about the downsides of learning how to make everyone like you. Devoting too much energy to controlling people's opinions of you isn't healthy. Plus, seeking this kind of validation from others isn't sustainable and doesn't build true confidence. Learning how to influence people might satisfy you temporarily. However, you could win the affection of people who don't care for you as true friends should. Not to mention that if you have social anxiety, it can be hard to learn how to make people like you. If this sounds like you, a platform like BetterUp can provide the guidance and support you need. Remember to give yourself compassion as you learn to improve your social skills. 5 ways to make people like you. The first step to learning how to make people like you is to improve your ability to communicate. We can thank our communication skills for all our connections and how we interact with people. We can't expect to form solid connections when we can't convey our feelings, instructions, or basic interests. It can keep us from getting ahead at work, deepening our friendships, and so much more. Dale Carnegie directs us toward the little details in his well-known book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. He says small things like remembering someone's name and smiling can help get people to like you. Here are 5 ways to strengthen your communication skills in your personal and professional life. 1. Don't ramble when you're speaking. Being articulate takes you places. When communicating with people, we want them to understand us the first time, not the second or third. Choose your words wisely, rather than rambling on and using words that don't have a purpose. Be brief but specific and drop unnecessary words. Treat people with respect. Treating others with respect may seem like an obvious way to make people like you. However, we sometimes lose respect for others, especially when emotions run high. If you can consistently show others courtesy, even when times are tough, you'll become likable. For example, if you're firing someone or having a difficult conversation at work, do so privately. Or if someone's busy and you need help with a work project, you can respect their time by not interrupting them unless it's urgent. Everyone will appreciate your ability to choose the right place and context to communicate. Know when to stop and listen. An important part of communicating is actively listening to what the other person says. Communication isn't a one-way street. A good listener listens intently, asks follow-up questions, and gives the other person their full attention. Always show genuine interest and engage in what the other person is saying so they feel heard. These habits show people that we care about what they have to say. These days, we're constantly distracted by social media, texts, and more. Becoming a better listener will make you stand out and help others like you more. As you strengthen these skills, focus on being interested in what's said and not making yourself seem more interesting. Proofread written messages. When communicating asynchronously, we all slip up and make grammar mistakes here and there. But it's the worst when our mistakes make our communication more confusing. We often waste time clarifying what we mean because of a simple slip on the keyboard. Next time you're writing a work email or working on a presentation, take a moment to proofread your messages carefully. Read them out loud and look for things that sound questionable or anything you've misspelled. Be conscious of body language. Are you aware of all the ways you communicate non-verbally? Our body language conveys our interest and emotions just like words do. Plus, facial expressions can tell people quickly if you're interested in what they have to say. Next time you're making small talk, focus on your non-verbal cues. Can you lean in, nod along with what the other person is saying, or give an encouraging smile? If you do this consistently, you'll quickly see how many more people like you. Remember, sometimes it's not about you. You can't control the opinions of others. Not everyone will like you, just as you won't like everyone else. Remember the spotlight effect if you're worried people don't like you. This psychological phenomenon occurs when you overestimate how much others pay attention to you. In most cases, other people aren't noticing you as much as you worry they might. Sometimes, an individual's dislike of you is about them. Perhaps your personalities aren't compatible. Maybe they have preconceived notions that sway their thinking. No matter the reason behind the dislike, it's wise to accept that not everyone will like you. It's a form of self-care to set these boundaries when working on your relationships with others. It's all the more reason to focus on a handful of relationships that are most important to you. Work on strengthening connections with these people, whether they're friends, family, or co-workers. Devote your energy to the relationships that mean the most to you. Moving forward, be yourself. Trying too hard to make friends can feel risky. You may work too hard to be someone you're not when we should never forget to be ourselves. Authentic interactions with people are much better than pretending to be someone we aren't just for the sake of fitting in. That said, simply being yourself can feel like useless advice. How do you authentically be yourself all the time? You can make decisions that align with your values and beliefs. Pursue your passions and set goals no matter what others think of them. Don't be afraid to share your opinion when the time is right. Expressing yourself honestly and consistently will make you feel more connected with yourself. Trying to keep up a persona we can't relate to is exhausting. And don't forget, you'll know meaningful connections when you make them. These friends won't pressure you to change. Instead, they'll celebrate who you are, here and now. It takes confidence to be ourselves rather than succumbing to peer pressure. And knowing how to make people like you isn't always obvious. Using a platform like BetterUp, you can get the support you need. In time, you'll learn to build self-confidence and prioritize your well-being long-term.